I learned the word house hacking from Bigger Pockets. I started to network with the communities here, the wholesalers, the realtors, and I knew there was something there. I wanted to make a shift, and I knew I wasn't necessarily happy in my position in the corporate world in the 9 to 5. I was traveling a lot as a consultant. Um, and I wasn't, at the end of the day, working for me, and I was always answering to the boss or to someone, right? And I knew I wanted eventually to create my own thing. So one thing led to the other. In 2017, I had enough money saved up. I knew that I was going to put 5% down on my first place. So I worked really hard to save money for several years. And by the way, I had about 75,000 in student loan debt that I was paying at the same time. But yeah, I bought my first place. I didn't really know what it would look like. I just knew that I wanted to bring in my friends from that first co-living that I moved to in Atlanta 14 years ago. I had roommates all throughout that time, right? That's how I was able to have affordable housing. Even after college, I lived with two of my best friends in a townhome. We didn't own it, but we split the rent, and that's what allowed me to save and get ahead. So I was used to roommates, and I was like, okay, let me make a goal to save enough money for my first down payment. I worked with a realtor, which wasn't necessary. She was great, but she wasn't necessarily investor focused. But I knew what I wanted, and I probably drove her nuts. We looked at 60 different properties, and after 7 months of this journey, because I almost like had analysis paralysis, right? I didn't know what I want. I was looking at a 2-bedroom condo. Maybe I'll just live with one roommate. I was looking at, a 3-bedroom townhome. And what I settled for was a 5-bedroom, 3,200 square foot house, which I moved my girlfriend into the master, and then I brought my two other roommates. They moved in with me, and my entire goal was, let me see if I can cover my mortgage. I think it was like $1,900 or $2,000 at the time. It was a $300,000 home in South Atlanta here, which was kind of a gentrifying area. I had done a bunch of research, and from my networking, I was like, oh, there's tons of development here that's about to happen. I know I'm going to have some great upside. Which is just icing on the cake, but let me focus on trying to get my mortgage covered. And I know that was going to get me ahead. So that's what I did. That was my first house in 2017. I bought a mansion, essentially 3,000 square feet for
Huge.
$300,000,
That's
and
huge.
I lived, rent free. I think we basically just split utilities, and I had maybe $50, $60 a month that I had to pay, and everything else was covered.